constant struggle. We want to make this aspect of constant struggle clear. Of course, the capitalist system, of course, will confuse you. It presents things only as one-sided, that things are only one side. When they talk about the Indians and the cowboys, you just get the cowboy side, not the Indian side. When they talk about the struggle in Palestine, it's just the Zionists, never the Palestine. I mean, never. The other day, someone was sitting down looking at a movie. It was a movie about how these, the Jewish people had suffered, and now because they're suffering, they were going to Palestine, a Zionist picture. So it was on television. So I walked out the room. Someone said, "Oh, you are so racist." I said, "I'm racist." "Yes, this is a story. It's just a story about people suffering, and just that suffering, and you think..." I said, "When last have you seen a picture of a Palestinian family suffering on television? You will never see it. You will never see it because they don't want to work up your sentiments to support the Palestinians. So the only stories you see are suffering stories of them all the time, all the time, all the time. One-sided view of life is given everywhere, this one-sided view of life. We must come to look at the other side. We must come to investigate the other side. And when you investigate the other side falls. I told you that I was a socialist, and I am. I know that, I must tell you this because capitalism just confuses you. The other day I told a brother I was socialist. He said, "You still socialist?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "But it fell." I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah, you didn't hear about it?" I said, "No, I didn't hear about it." He said, "It collapsed." I said, "Oh." He said, "You hear about the Soviet Union? They're gone." I said, "Really?" I said, "Listen." I said, "You mustn't get confused. Capitalism doesn't just rape your labor and rip off your resources. It deforms your thinking. It deforms your thinking." I told the man, "You're not thinking." He said, "What do you mean?" He said, "I saw it happen. It's finished." I said, "You never judge a system by its adherents. You never judge any system by its believers. You judge it by its principles." He said, "I don't understand what you're talking about." I said, "All I'm saying to you, brother, is you don't judge socialism by socialists." He said, "You're talking double talk." I said, "Am I?" He said, "If you tell me that you can't judge socialism by socialists, who you judge it by?" I said, "Let me ask you one question. Do you judge Christianity by Christians? If you judge Christianity by Christians, it fell with Judas. And if it didn't fall with Judas, so many, many Christians in so many, many ways every day violates every principle of Christianity. When you judge a system, you judge it by its principles. Christianity has been betrayed everywhere. The Pope used it to divide the world. Slave masters used it to bring about slavery. But me, I will never condemn Christianity. I know its principles. The principles are just, therefore eternal. Any man, any woman, any time wishing to live a just life can pick up the principles, imitate them, and live them. So it is with socialism. You must not get confused. Socialism hasn't gone anywhere. It has been betrayed, yes. But betrayal doesn't mean collapse. Perhaps they get confused because at least Judas had the dignity after betraying Christianity to hang himself. Gorbachev is still running around the world picking up pieces of silver. Must be clear here and not confused. I'm a socialist. One other thing I must tell you now. They confuse people about socialism. Brother the other day said, "Why ain't no socialist?" I said, "Why not, brother?" He said, "Because it's a white thing." I said, "Oh, really?" You see, Europe tries to make believe that everything that comes out of the world comes out of Europe. I told the man, I said, "Socialism ain't no white thing." He said, "Yes, it is." He said, "Karl Marx discovered it." I told him, Karl Marx never discovered socialism. He cannot. You call the laws of gravity Newton's laws. I'm sure there's a mnemonic device to help you on your quizzes. But you certainly cannot believe that Isaac Newton can found that a body falls at the rate of 32 feet per second squared per second squared. He can't find this. He can't discover it. He cannot invent this. He can only observe it and record it, discover the law. If I'm sitting in Timbuktu in Africa and I've never heard of Sir Isaac Newton and I'm conducting any experiments with gravity, I will come to the same conclusion that he does. A body in motion tends to stay in motion unless stopped by an outside force. He cannot invent this. He can only observe it and record it. Karl Marx did not invent socialism. If I'm sitting in Libya, in the deserts, and I'm doing any research with capital and labor without ever having heard of Karl Marx, I will come to the same conclusion that he did. That any time capital seeks to dominate labor, there'll be a ruthless, uncompromising struggle on the part of labor until it comes to crush capital and dominate it. This is a fact. My history demonstrates that. We came here as chattel slaves for centuries. We fought and fought and fought until we crushed it. Now we're just slave of the wage, and now we've got to rise up and crush that one. That's to declare that Karl Marx didn't invent socialism. It's there for all to see. Karl Marx's great contribution to the world was in the area of historical materialism and dialectical materialism, something you need to know if you know about socialism. But since you don't know about socialism, you don't even know the words. And not only does the enemy keep you ignorant, you stay ignorant. You won't ever go read a book about socialism. Why read a book about socialism? They already told me in my class it ain't no good. You will not even read a book about socialism. Why, you don't even read a book about your history. We come to inspire you to learn. We come to tell you that when you come to serve a people, you must know as much as you can. The more you know, the better able you are to serve the people.